So 8BitDo released their Ultimate 2 Bluetooth controller, and I've been using it for a few weeks now. If you've been eyeing Nintendo's official Pro controller but hesitated because of the price, this might just be the best alternative yet. And honestly, it might be enough to make me say don't buy it, even though it gets a ton of other things right. So is the 8BitDo Ultimate 2 the best controller for the Switch, or is it just another close call? Let's find out. Alright, so looking at what we get inside the box. So you're getting the 8BitDo Ultimate 2 Bluetooth controller in this sort of banana yellow Pikachu colorway. I will say this is the Bluetooth version, so you also get that compatibility with the Switch 1 and Switch 2. What I found to be a little confusing was that there is another wireless version that's slightly less expensive. It also has the Xbox button layout, but otherwise looks exactly like this one. But I will caveat that by saying make sure you get the right one, because that one won't allow you to pair to your Switch console. And you also get this matching charging dock, which is nice because it also houses that 2.4 gigahertz dongle right below, which is also USB-C this time around. The other cool feature is that you don't need to take this dongle out if you're just pairing it with your PC. You can just connect the dock directly to your PC and it'll work the same. That way you're not taking up two USB ports at the same time. You also get a USB-C cable along with the quick start guide and manual. And this one also came with some additional thumb grips, which could vary just depending on where you purchase it. So my first impressions are that this thing looks and feels pretty premium. The yellow colorway is definitely not for everyone, but honestly, it does pop. And the weight is balanced. It's not too heavy and it's not too light. It just feels solid overall. Now, compared to the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, this one's for the Nintendo Switch 1. It's not the new one that just came out. I'd say it actually feels just as ergonomic as this. Although my all-time favorite controller is the Xbox controller, which seems to be the best feel in my hands. I will say the grips are similar, but the shape and texture is a bit less pronounced, but it still feels really solid and nice in hand. So far, I'm really impressed, being that it's only $70 and it already feels really premium. Now, design-wise, the Ultimate 2 Bluetooth controller keeps the classic 8BitDo controller style while keeping things identical to the previous version. The build quality is solid, there aren't any creaks, no cheap plastic feel, it's just tight and the construction feels excellent along with the fit and finish. The buttons also feel great and have a nice click. I also like that you can adjust the trigger travel on the back here to be either analog or clicky. You also get several RGB modes around the thumbsticks, including fire ring mode, which has a radiating ring of light, light tracing mode, which interacts with your inputs, and rainbow ring mode, which also allows you to select a solid color. Now let's talk about what the controller actually does. One of the big features here is the Hall effect triggers. You can easily switch between Hall effect triggers and non-linear tactile triggers for optimal control across different gaming scenarios. This controller also has TMR joysticks, which offer higher sensitivity, precision, and enhanced durability, all while consuming less power. You also get two remappable back paddles, which offer perfect actions like jumping or reloading, basically allowing you to do anything you want faster without lifting your thumbs. Along with that, you get two tactile L4 and R4 buttons off to the sides of the triggers up top. The location of the buttons isn't bad, they're just far enough to where I wasn't accidentally tapping them. The D-pad is also great, it's just tactile enough without being mushy. And if you're looking for more customization, that's actually done within the 8BitDo Ultimate Software V2. There you can remap buttons, assign functionalities to your liking, in case you want to switch between Switch or Xbox layout, customizing each stick for higher precision control, fine-tune and adjust the ranges of your triggers to act faster. You can also modify the vibration intensity for better comfort during gameplay, and set up macros to assign long sequence of actions to one single button. So now looking at the back down below, you get a toggle which lets you switch between Bluetooth mode and 2.4 gigahertz mode, which I find to be super convenient if you're pairing between your Switch 2, PC, or even a Steam Deck. Battery life is also solid at 1000 milliamp capacity. You're getting roughly 22 hours of gameplay on a single charge with Bluetooth. The charging dock is great for keeping your controller charged at all times, and I like the bit of underglow you get to indicate when it's charging. This controller also has a 1000 Hz polling rate for its 2.4 gigahertz wireless mode and wired connection mode, which is great, and I haven't noticed any latency issues. The controller is also capable of turbo input, so you don't have to spam and mash buttons constantly. The motion controls also work great, and you get a pretty well-tuned rumble. I like the layout of the buttons overall. You get a dedicated capture button along with the standard start and select. So the start button is used to set up all of your button mapping. The center button button is your home button, which essentially turns the controller on. So out of the box, the controller won't actually work with your Switch 2 until you plug it into your PC or Mac and then update to firmware version 1.04 or later, which I tried to do on the 2.00 version at the time of recording. However, I still for the life of me can't get this thing to turn on my Switch 2. Apparently there is a shake feature that I find to be quite awkward, so if you are able to get it to turn your console on, please let me know if I'm doing something wrong in the comments. But for that reason alone, I can't in good faith recommend this controller since it's a major selling point. And for something that's supposed to rival Nintendo's own controller, that's a huge miss. I mean, if you think about it, when you're ready to play, you just want to grab your controller and go, not walk all the way over to the dock, press a button, and then come back. Unless 8BitDo rolls out some firmware update that fixes this or makes it seamless right out of the box, it's a serious flaw in my opinion. So now to recap some of the pros and cons. I really like the premium ergonomic design. The TMR joysticks are great and they're very precise and drift free. You get customizable triggers and remappable back paddles, which is a great addition. Battery life was also superb and the smart charging dock is excellent. I love how easy it is also to switch between Bluetooth and 2.4 GHz mode. Some of the cons are that you can't actually wake the Switch, and if you somehow do get it working, that shake to wake system is quite ridiculous. The fact that it also requires a firmware update right out the box is also annoying. So is the 8BitDo Ultimate 2 Bluetooth controller really the perfect replacement for Nintendo's Pro controller? It almost is. You're getting incredible build quality, precision, and customization for all around $70. That's impressive, but that wake issue is a big one. For me personally, that's enough to say this isn't the perfect Switch controller, at least not yet. If you mainly play on PC or you don't mind pressing the console power on button manually, then you'll love this thing. But if you're after a truly seamless Switch experience, you're probably better off sticking to the Pro controller until 8BitDo fixes that issue and gets it working right out of the box. Now for my final score. Ergonomics, 5 out of 5. Price and value, 5 out of 5. Quality, 5 out of 5. Features and practicality, 4 out of 5. And aesthetics, 5 out of 5. Now that's it for today's review of the 8BitDo Ultimate 2 Bluetooth controller. Would you pick this up or would you just stick to Nintendo's Pro controller? If this helped you out, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more reviews. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.